I had a dream the other night that, well, I didn't understand. A figure walked in through the mist with a flintlock in his hand. His clothes were torn and dirty as he stood there by my bed. He took off his three-cornered hat, and speaking low to me, he said, "We fought a revolution to secure our liberty. We wrote the Constitution as a shield from tyranny. For future generations, this legacy we gave. In this, the land of the free and home of the brave."
The nation was intended by its founders, most of its founders, to be a Christian, cultured, biblically based government. Is that about
That's
to
correct.
put it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how can I say that and be sure I'm right? I don't only go back and read the documents that they wrote. I read what they wrote about themselves and the documents.
Right.
Okay? We've been lied to about the Constitution and other things for so long. We believe what the news says before we even back. Nobody reads what they wrote.
The freedoms we secured for you, we'd hoped you'd always keep. But tyrants labored endlessly while your parents were asleep. Your freedom's gone, your courage lost. You're no more than a slave. In this, the land of the free and home of the brave.
And Nuclear Ohio has passed a new law making it illegal to use anything other than curtains or blinds to cover one's windows.
Oh my God.
That's so when they kick them in, they can come in easier.
Concerned about the city's image, the council voted 8 to 1 to outlaw the use of blankets, garbage bags, newspapers, and windows. Violators face 6 months in jail or a $1,000 fine. Inspectors will be sent out to police the communities.
And I bet you those inspectors don't need a search warrant to come in and inspect.
In your own home, you can't even hang up a blanket over a window.
You buy permits to travel and permits to own a gun. Permits to start a business or to build a place for one. On land that you believe you own, you pay a yearly rent, although you have no voice in saying how the money's spent. Your children must attend a school that doesn't educate, and your Christian values can't be taught according to the state.
Believe it or not, most of this was written on biblical principles, just like this right here was. This is the definition of property under the law that once was law of the land. Rightful dominion over external objects. Ownership, the unrestricted and exclusive right to a thing. Unrestricted and exclusive. The right to dispose of the substance of a thing in every legal way, to possess it, to use it, and to exclude everyone else from the interfering with it.
Wow, I wish that was still in it.
That's Black's Law Dictionary. Is it biblical?
You read about the current news in a regulated press, and you pay a tax you do not owe to please the IRS. Your money is no longer made of silver nor of gold. You trade your wealth for paper, so your life can be controlled. You pay for crimes that make our nation turn from God and shame. You've taken Satan's number. You've traded in your name.
As most people out there know, that listen to me on the radio or listen to other lessons, know that I will not take the damnable ID card. I'm going to prove to you, man, right from the Bible, it is the mark of the beast. I won't take it. I can take it. My flesh would love to take it. It'd be much easier on the flesh. It'd be so much easier just to go along and get along. Is that not true?
That's right.
Wouldn't it have been easier on Paul to go along and get along instead of being beheaded, or Peter being crucified upside down, or James being killed with a sword? It's always been easier to get along with the world for the flesh's sake. But for the sake of our Savior and the sake of our children, we can't do it.
You've given government control to those who do you harm, so they could burn down churches and seize the family farm, and keep our country deep in debt, put men of God in jail, harass your fellow countrymen while corrupted courts prevail. Your public servants don't uphold the solemn oaths they've sworn, and your daughters visit doctors so their children won't be born.
In California, who went out in the streets and dared to stand in front of murder mules and show these kind of pictures. Y'all seen these pictures for me. I make a bill member once with the ministry here. I'll give you all one you put in your car. It's fixing car window. I got them in my car. Don't even look out there and see. I get a lot of looks at it. Most people look at it kind of. They don't say anything, do they? They're shocked. The picture's there. I've had some people give me like this, and some do other fingers. But anyway, they do look. And once they look, they can never say they never saw.
That's right.
Because these women are told that that baby, as this one right here was, that this baby right in this picture was nothing but a sack of blood, 2 months old. Well,
Looks
what?
a little bit like it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Your leaders send artillery and guns to foreign shores and send your sons to slaughter fighting other people's wars. Can you regain the freedoms for which we fought and died? Or don't you have the courage or the faith to stand with pride? And are there no more values for which you'll fight to save? Or do you wish your children to live in fear and be a slave?
We're trying to warn the people. But here it is coming out in press, Debbie, that we bombed the country into nothing. They're now fighting amongst themselves. They had no water, they had no electricity, they have very little food. Gas went up from 10 cents a gallon, like $3 a gallon. It's outrageous. And we want them to love us because we brought democracy to them.
O sons of the Republic, arise, take a stand, defend the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. Preserve our great republic and each God-given right. And pray to God to keep the torch of freedom burning bright.
This is a right given to us. We are to be a self-governing people. And anyone that's a moral person is insulted that they must be watched all the time. That insults me. Does it insult anybody besides you all?
It makes me angry.
I have nothing to hide, but it's nobody's business if I do, as long as I'm not hurting anybody else.
As I awoke, he'd vanished in the mist from whence he came. His words were true. We are not free, but we have ourselves to blame. For even now as tyrants trample each God-given right, we only watch and tremble, too afraid to stand and fight. If he stood by your bedside in a dream while you were asleep and wondered what remains of the freedoms he'd fought to keep, what would be your answer if he called out from the grave? Is this still the land of the free and home of the brave? God bless you, and God bless this republic.
If we don't demand justice and righteousness be done in society, then God himself will judge society or a nation and his people along with it for not doing what's right.